Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? Diddy. Diddy is innocent. Free Diddy. Diddy is innocent. Free Diddy. So now we have a totally different claimant who has said that he was sexually assaulted. He was groped by Diddy in an office room. Diddy was already inebriated allegedly, and he had asked this male pro athlete, to come into the room with him, and he essentially was just showed his genitals to the pro athlete, and then proceeded to touch the pro athlete's genitals himself. Diddy did. This is all claimant. This is all claimant's statement, and what really happened, we may never know. We may find out that this is true or it may not be true. But the main focus is the fact that we have to come to an agreement on who is right and who is wrong. All right, this show is brought to you by lifestrongapparel.com. That's LIFESTRONGAPPAREL.com. There you will find fitness gear, and you will find sea moss and fruit such as soursop, elderberry, mango, pineapple, and blueberry. I've had the blueberry. It is excellent. I recommend it. Like I said, the owner, Mr. Pang, he said that he had a whole jar of mango in one sitting. It's just that delicious. I haven't had the mango yet, but I've had the blueberry, and I can definitely say I had to ration it out over like a week because I was going to have the whole thing all to myself. So I had to ration it out. So definitely go to lifestrongapparel.com. Tell them that the Goofy Guy Sky Saunders sent you. Also, here's the kicker. You can get a discount on your purchases by typing in SKYLER10, Skyler10. You can get 10% off all your purchases at the checkout. So make sure you go there, lifestrongapparel.com. Also, another advertisement, BEEJACKSON 5478. B Jackson on YouTube. Check him out. Make sure you see what he's working with, see what he's cooking. Literally, he's got fried chicken, he's got sardines, he's got near beer, and discussions on strippers. So make sure you get to and get some time invested in his work. All right, so we have and tell them that the Goofy Guy Sky Saunders is you. Don't forget that. Don't tell them that's the Goofy Guy Sky Saunders. So we have with this case right here, just more. I mean, it's just like a dog pile. Now it's a dog pile. It's officially a dog pile. I mean, it was a dog pile at the beginning, but these I don't think it's criminal. I think they're just lawsuits. And they just keep mounting. They keep mounting. I want to see what Diddy does. I want to see how he works. I want to see what he does. Because this is crazy. This is a pro athlete, a male pro athlete, and he's alleging that Diddy touched his genitals and Diddy showed his own genitals to him. So I would love to see what Diddy would have to say about any of these. They should just do like a random like boop, 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 kind of like, we'll take this claim. This happened at this time and this night on this particular couch. Did this really happen? He'd be like, no, it didn't happen. Take that. You know, like, what is he gonna say? I'm just waiting for him to say something. Tupac opened his mouth, even though he was convicted. He was found guilty. The late great Tupac Shakur, he was found guilty of his crimes, but we don't know about Diddy. We don't know about his crimes, and plus, it's just the three crimes: the racketeering, the sexual assault, and the attempt to use sex workers in prostitution. Just those three crimes. And one of them shouldn't be a crime. The prostitution charge shouldn't be a crime. There should be prostitution. That's what keeps, businesses running. Trust me, I'm telling you the facts. businesses run on prostitution. There are whole sets of different people that are in the sex working industry that are keeping this world going, this entire world going. And I'm not talking about sexual trafficking, sexual. I'm not talking about sexual trafficking. That's in a sense slavery. That's a totally different charge. I'm against sexual trafficking, but I'm not against the prostitution charge. But I have to acknowledge that we are not at a stage where we can say that there's prostitution that's legal across the board. So I would have to go for that charge as well. And the racketeering one is a little weird because it has the arson charge. There must be talking about the car that allegedly blew up that was owned by Kid Cudi. That's just strange to me. I mean, that was a weird thing to look at. They said arson, some kind of other charges that were associated with, but essentially, this particular claimant, doesn't even have a name. He's a John Doe. He's a faceless, nameless claimant that said that all these things happened to him. But why now? Well, that's all I want to know. Why now? I'm not even trying to defend Diddy. Besides saying free Diddy, he should be on He should be on lockdown in his house. He's innocent until proven guilty. Remember that, kids. Innocent until proven guilty. We are in the United States of America. Innocent until proven guilty. So I wonder what he's like. Oh, okay, we got another lawsuit. Okay, let me see if I can put mine in. Oh, let me see if I can put mine in. Oh, I can put mine in. And it's over 120 now. It used to be split down the middle, 60 men and 60 women that were engaged in this lawsuit funnel. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's this buildup of lawsuits, I guess you can say. But this latest claimant, it just seems so bizarre. That Diddy was inebriated and showed his genitals and grabbed the pro athlete's genitals, the male. See, he must be the reverse of Donald Trump. He said grab him by the pee, and Diddy must have been grab him by the balls. So that's the weird, weird factoid that has come into fruition. But we don't know if it's a fact. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just saying that the claim is a fact. Particular lawsuit is a fact. So I think that's deleterious. There's a word. Deleterious to Diddy's case. Absolutely. It absolutely is. It's going to be a very hard pill to swallow. Pause. For him to try to come up with it. And whoever you are, person number one that's in this live, tell 2 or 3 people to get in the live too, and put up the like button. Hit that like button. I got a fundraiser Tuesday. Let me see. Let me put this in the chat. $0 raised. $160 to go. Thank you. So every day it's $160. Thank you. Okay, 2 people. Now hit the like button. Smash that like button. Hit that like button. Woo, woo, woo. And give me $50 while you're at it. Cash App is on the top. Chat. Now it's down to 0. Okay. I love it. This is the most bizarre encounter I've ever had in my life. I think really bizarre. I'm on my phone. It goes up to 150. That means 9,000 views. 150 on the viewer count means that 9,000 views. Okay, that's what it means. If you have like 7 to 10, maybe 20, 30, it's like 130 to 500, 600, somewhere around there. It's goofy, kids. It's really goofy. It's really goofy. But still, I march on. I don't care if there's 0 people watching right now. There's always the rebroadcast land. Not worried about it. Not worried about it at all. I have to put in the work. I have to grind. I'll remember these times. This is the best. Like I said, you're gonna have nights like this. I had a night where I had 9,000 views. That was a viral video to me. I went viral in my own, capacity. It's not like I made million, I had a million views or something like that, or a billion views or something like that. This was a viral moment for me because I had the highest I ever had was 6,000. This went up to almost 10,000, and then the next day it was like 2.5 thousand. Then it went up again to 8,000. So I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad at anything that goes on here. I'm still doing the show. So anyway, Diddy, goddamn Diddy, goddamn, just threw it all. He was the American dream. He embodied the American dream. Came from humble beginnings, worked his ass off. Pause. Took nothing from no one. Was steadfast. Was steady. Was on his grind the whole time, making hundreds of millions of dollars in the process, and then just pissed it all away. Just pissed it all away. For what reason? I don't know. Because even if he's found not guilty, even though he's innocent, in the court of law, they don't say innocent and guilty. They say not guilty and guilty. So he's innocent right now. So that's the reason why I think they say that. But even if he's found not guilty on all charges and all the lawsuits are dismissed, what will he have? He'll have maybe a few $1 million in the bank, but he won't have America. He had America. He had white people. Damn it. Let's keep it a buck. White people knew who Diddy was. Oh my God, it's P. Diddy. It's Diddy. Oh my God. White people loved him. But the thing was, like the late great Paul Mooney said, there was people like that white people take him. They had Bill Cosby. They gave him back. They had James Brown. They gave him back. They took O.J. Simpson. They gave him back. Like they'll give him back. They'll take him, and then they'll be like, "All right, you can't be around us no more. You can't rock with us. You gotta go back to the blacks. I'm sorry. Go back to the back of the bus. I'm sorry. Seriously, like it's a problem. But anyway, so Diddy, he maintained his blackness somehow. He's somehow he was a gangster. He still is a gangster. He's a certified gangster. He's certified. He's a certified gangster, and that's the reason why he held on to his blackness as well as catering to white people. Run the city, Diddy, vote or die, all that fly fancy stuff. All of that. And it just went away in the wind. Like I said, if he's not convicted, if he's not found guilty on any of the charges, he still has to live somewhere. And who's going to grant him access to anywhere? I don't think he's going to be able to go back to the Hamptons anymore. There will be no more white parties. I think there's no more white parties now, obviously. So I think it is deplorable. It is ugly. It is nasty. It is disgusting that we should even consider the fact that all of these allegations, the charges are, absolute and real. 120 plus allegations. You don't know that somebody's just trying to get a payday. And the charges, maybe the only thing I can think about maybe is racketeering and the sexual trafficking. But I don't think the prostitute, unless they had the quotes of the quotes of the sex workers, the male sex workers. Pause. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. It's a very sketchy way of doing business, I think. And Diddy, in part, was a businessman. In part, he raised empires. Sean John, Bad Boy. He had deals with Ciroc. He's no longer with Ciroc. And I meant to say that also yesterday. 50 is no longer associated with effing vodka. He's no he. I did say it, yeah, because he sold it for $60 million. Okay, just wanted to make sure of that. So we have to have a measured, objective way of looking at all this. We have to have a completely objective and measured way of seeing this entire case. And that's something that a lot of people can't do, or they do their code switching, especially people in America. Oh yeah, they're like, hallelujah, Jesus, in the name of the blood, in the name of the Father, oh God Almighty. And then they'll be like, oh, well, I have to have facts and proof, and there has to be reality. What? You were just saying there's hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, and that he's going to come in on a cloud, and that all the things in the Bible are real and true, and everything is facts. But you want to have facts and reality for certain cases. It's a double-edged. It's a weird situation. I don't even want to call it a double-edged sword. It's just a weird, goofy situation that has arisen in this country over the past 2 centuries that's been around. Because this was a country never founded upon the ideas of a Christian notion, never founded upon a Christian ideology, never. So I think that it's very possible that we will have a strange occurrence, I think, during the election. This is just my I should have my tinfoil trilby on right now. But I think something really big is going to happen with Diddy in the election. Something I can just foresee, using my special mind power. And I'm BSing. I don't have mind powers that beyond what things that are factual or using reason and thought and logic, and that's all I got. That's all I have for that, because there's nothing else. There is no opposite. There's only truth and reality and facts, and that's what has to be weighed here. The fact that Diddy should be free, and the fact that he is still innocent, he's still an innocent man, is cause for concern. One moment. I was missing something. All right. So that's the cause for concern. That is a real serious case that has to be mentioned. That has to be made true. That's something that has to be, solidified, because people are. I'm gonna say it on this. I was envisioning saying this to, politicians in Washington. I was gonna say, I think you've all lost your minds. I would say that, but I don't think you've ever discovered your minds to begin with, to lose them. That's where I think we are at this Diddy case. The people that are behind, the campaigns for, dismissing Diddy and saying things of that nature, that's all conjecture. That's not facts. That's not reality. Wait till the trial. Wait till the DA and the prosecution. Wait till they start doing their cross-examination and their weighing of facts, and there's going to be there's going to be bottles of baby oil probably as evidence. That's never going to get old, by the way. The baby oil, with the GBH allegedly, or the horse tranquilizers, and the baby oil. It's all, that's never going to get old. That's going to be a tried and true joke and serious, but you have to have some levity, I guess, in something so serious, as all these accusations are. So with Diddy being the number one man of the hour, he's the most famous man in the world. He's infamous, but he's famous at too. I guess he's the most famous person ever in the 21st century. Probably. Like I said, I'll never forget. I went to an event in Washington D.C. with these group of kids, these youth ambassadors, and I had on these sunglasses, and it was a kid from Germany. He was like, P Diddy, P Diddy, P Diddy. It's my terrible German accent, but he was just like, P Diddy, P Diddy. I was like, damn, this thing got reach. He got people in Germany knowing who he is. I'm sure in Japan and Brazil and Ethiopia and Australia, New Zealand, England. I miss the days when Diddy's really his only legal woes was the changing of his name. He had to change his name, and I think he bought it back because I think it was like he was using Diddy, and then it switched to P Diddy. Then I think he was able to buy it back, and it was just going by Diddy. I think that's the case. If I'm wrong, say, "Oh, Scott, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Shut up. You don't know what you're saying. Just say it like that." But it is sad. It's a sad situation, really. It really is a sad situation. All this going on is really sad that this had to happen to somebody of his caliber, because he was a man of color who made hundreds of millions of dollars in America. It's like 12 or like less than 100. It's got to be less than 100 out of a nation of 330 million or 350 million. How many there are in America? How many men of color have that amount of money and that amount of I was gonna say prestige, but prestige is kind of subjective. But that amount of ability to move things, to be a mover and a shaker, to be a builder, to be a maker. I didn't mean to rhyme right there, but I just did. And I got one person in here, and I don't know. See, this is that goofy mess. One person in here, then two people in here, then zero. I don't understand how this works. I'm stupid. I don't get it. I go on my phone, and then sometimes on my phone it's like 7, 8, and that equates to like 35, 40 people. I have no clue how it works. I have no clue. No clue how one day I'm all up, numbers are going crazy. Next day it's like, no, not really. No, not really feeling it. But I'm slogging through. I feel good. I feel great. So I'm gonna keep doing the show. I feel great. It's not like, oh damn, what am I gonna talk about? No, I'm talking about this Diddy case and continue on with it. So I'm very focused on the fact that Diddy carved a name for himself from New York, from the greatest city in the world. And he rose up. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Well, he made it in New York. He made it. He can make it anywhere. Like Frank Sinatra and others. I'm going to say in others because he may not have been the first person to say that. But if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, they say about New York City. So he made it. He made it. And what's really ridiculous and what's really trying my nerves is Jay-Z, Sean Carter, the boss man, the big homie. No words, nothing, no statements. Beyonce, nothing, no statements. They've been to white parties. They know what it's like. They know the atmosphere. My favorite writer, Ture, he went into an argument with Vlad TV, with DJ Vlad. He was saying how, come on, man. You're talking about Cassie's career. He was saying how, 10 years for an album. He was like, that's like $10 million because an album you really cost something like $1 million to produce with engineers, songwriters, arrangers, and so many other personnel, all created the packaging, the commercialism, the marketing schemes. All that has to be accounted for. So in the 10 years that Cassie went from, she didn't even have Me and You with Diddy. She had it with Ryan Leslie. So that's the real issue. And Diddy's a gangster. He straight up stole his artist and his girl from Ryan Leslie. Diddy stole Ryan Leslie's girl and his artist at the same time. And Ryan Leslie's laptop got stolen. He had to pay $1 million, if I'm not mistaken, to get it back. So Ryan Leslie is like the biggest loser / winner / talented / weird. Who's gonna play Ryan Leslie in the movie? I don't know who's gonna play him, but it's gonna be strange. But I think with my favorite fiction, I should say, my favorite fiction writer, besides Ayn Rand, is Turay. He has such works as The Portable Promised Land and Soul City, amongst other nonfiction works, which are excellent. But I think his fiction is stronger in my eyes. I just think his fiction is, because it's just so brilliant and ebullient and full of life and color and character, and it just leaps off the page, and you get to thinking about certain things. Like, it's great. But anyway, he was sitting down for the interview with DJ Vlad, and it just went off the rails. They had a huge argument over whether Cassie was groomed, or whether her album should have came out beforehand, or talking about how music is a meritocracy, and that's what Turay was saying. It's not a meritocracy. DJ Vlad was arguing almost for the position that it is, saying that there are a few people that get a chance and they'll have a big single, Party Like a Rock Star, and different things like that. Different artists. I don't even know what those artists are. I don't even remember their names. But Nappy Roots, Po Folk, and Y'all Done Up and Did It, or some mess like that. They had like 2 songs together, and where the hell did they go? And it's like, you can't blame the music business. The music business is not, here for you to be taught the business of show, because that's what it is. It's not show business. It's the business of show. So whenever you have the opportunity, you should be sitting down at a computer or in a library, or open up books, open up websites that guide you to where you need to be. Like, I'm a screenwriter. I have already written screenplays, but I'll have to register those with the Library of Congress and Writers Guild of America West, in order for me to really have a real closure and a real bond, and make an insurance against people taking my work. And that's what nobody talks about that. Nobody. I mean, people are starting to, I think, with the internet, the proliferation of the internet and of vlogs, and they call them podcasts. I say broadcasts. Because there are no more iPods. It's the irony. There are no more iPods in existence, really. They don't work, for new music. I don't think. I would imagine, something from 2003 is not going to play the same as on your iPhone, or even new ones like the iPad. You remember iPod Touch and all those, and the colors and everything? Yeah. But anyway, it's like what Mr. Choice Terrain said. He says, nobody's business to teach you the business. It's nobody's business to teach you the business. It's not. No one is supposed to sit you down and say, hey, look at this contract. Look at the percentage you're supposed to be giving the company. Look what the percentage they're going to give you. See how much you're supposed to be given, how much in residuals, how much in your publishing, how much is you can. It's going to cost to purchase your masters. What are you going to do with your masters? That's what Lupe Fiasco said. Lupe Fiasco had a good point. He said, okay, he said to it was a record exec. I can't think of it. Was a famous record exec too. I can't think of his name. It might have been Clive Davis, but I'm not sure. One of them said, he was like, okay, so what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with all your masters? He was just like, oh, well, yeah, I had to think about that. But think about what you can do with masters. when you have a film, when you have a commercial, when you have a TV show, and they use your work, you get a percentage. You get residuals based on the master recordings. Those are things I learned from Mr. Sean Corey Carter, the big homie Hove. He had that in my mind. I never knew. I didn't even realize it. I remember he was talking about people, they get F for their publishing. I was like, what is publishing? What are you talking about? I don't even understand. I didn't even get it. I had to look it up on the internet, years later. I was talking about rappers who get F for their publishing and stuff like that. And then he's talking about Prince. He wanted his masters, and he put slave. This man has slave on his face. It's not the music industry. It's not the music industry's fault. You can't blame a conglomerate. I mean, there are situations. There are certain circumstances where people were jerked, literally and figuratively, on their albums. That is a fact. But for the most part, you got to do your due diligence, and that's to do homework on the industry. That's the whole point. The whole point is for you to understand the business of show. It's not show business. It's the business of show. Business comes before the show. You don't have, a play. You don't have a musical. You don't have a film. You don't have a TV show. You don't have a record album. You don't have an album. You have none of this without somebody, pulling strings and making sure it's all financed. It has to be financed. That's why there's producers, essentially, and there's executive producers. And even directors that become producers and actors become producers because they want to have more cut, than just being an actor, just being, a screenwriter. You want to be the director and the producer too. That's why I acknowledge my favorite director, Wes Anderson. He wrote, directed, and produced all but one of his films. Let me make 100% sure I'm right. Make sure 100%. Let me see. His first movie was Bottle Rocket. He wrote and directed it, but he didn't produce it. But I think everything else he did. Make it 100% sure. It's not. It's not showing it, but they usually do show it. But I see when he has that. So I don't know if maybe he didn't produce Rushmore either. Yeah, he didn't produce Rushmore either. He didn't produce Bottle Rocket or Rushmore. But I think everything after that he produced. I think so. Excuse me. Good God. God Almighty. But anyway, you get my point. All this, it's sad that we even have to talk about Diddy in this way because he was such a matador. He was a bullfighter. He gangstered his way into the system. That's what I respected about him. But he allegedly did some dirt, and like I said, this is worse. This is like a white parties, and if he had a red, wine, and it spilled on the shirt. He's like, "No, sorry, I can take it to the cleaners." Coming back from the cleaners, there's still a big pinkish stain on the white shirt. Probably, the agents that tried to clean the spot out still couldn't get it away. That's what's going to happen to Diddy, no matter what. If he doesn't have any, charges are fully dropped from him, The lawsuits are dismissed. It's a wrap. It's like it's still gonna affect it. And what's weird is what the late great O.J. Simpson did. He had what he did was amazing. I don't know what that must have been a super Negro. He was super nigger. He was the real super nigger. He beat a double murder charge of 2 white people, including a beautiful white woman and her friend. He beat that. Then he got lost in the civil case and had to give up some millions. But then he goes to prison for what, 7 or 8 years or something like that. Comes out and wants to do broadcasting, and not from his phone, from a laptop or something like that, but not from a broadcast, NBC or ABC or Fox or something like that, or CBS, nothing like that. I'm saying he's doing like I said, podcast. I guess this way you can make the difference: a broadcast and a podcast. You want to make a distinction. This is technically a podcast, I guess, in a lot of ways, but that man was defiant. He was like, well, I hope y'all catch him. Hope y'all catch whoever killed him. That nigga was like, you know what? Hey, shoot. What y'all you do? You guys do what y'all got to do. It was somebody. Somebody did it. What? Wasn't me? Don't look at me. I was acquitted on both charges. Wasn't like, oh, he got one. No, he said both. They said both, the man and the woman. Cole Brown Simpson and what's his name? Cato? Something like that. I just want to see what Jay-Z has to say. He's been very quiet. He's been very quiet because he knows that he knows that he knows. He knows a lot. He's seen some things, allegedly, I should say. Just saying he's seen some things. I'm saying allegedly. He knows some things. And this isn't malicious intent, so I'm just going to say allegedly. He knows some things. He knows about Diddy. He knows about the parties. He knows that people party. He's aware of all that. So we have to really investigate what Jay-Z has to say and what his motives are. Why is he so quiet? Because he did the same thing. He came from the dust. He came from the bottom of the bottom. Marcy Projects, Brooklyn, New York. Came a multi-billionaire. Who can say that? That is the craziest thing you can possibly say. How many Brooklynites, how many black Brooklynites from Marcy Projects can say that I turned my life into being a multi-billionaire? Who can say that but Jay-Z? I think he's the only one. Pretty sure. He's at the top of the most wealthy musicians in the world. Over Paul McCartney, Rihanna, and Taylor Swift. It's extraordinary. You can't knock the hustle. What he was talking about was not knocking, the drug trade. He wasn't talking about that hustle. He was talking about the business of show, the hip hop thing. That's what he was talking about. He was saying you can't knock the hustle. I'm being my own, businessman. And it's sad because he had issues with Dame Dash and Biggs Burke, and they fell out, and they didn't have any, good words to say at each other all the time. But that's just life. You're going to run into people, you're going to be cool with them for a minute, and then next thing you know, you're not cool with them anymore. And that's just the facts in reality. That's facts of reality. You have to accept that. You have to really explore it or ignore it. Those who ignore it tend to be in the worst camp. But if you explore that idea and explore the fact that This person's not going to be around all the time. That's something that you can live with, that you can understand and think about properly. So what I think is that, with this pro male athlete who came forward, pause, with the idea that he was going to say that Diddy touched his genitals and he expose his own. Did he expose his genitals to this man? It's really, really messy. Messy child. Oh, child is messy. It is, though. It really is. So that's the way that you can really show that it's about the show, the business of show. That is the key to all this. Everything you see, all the Rockettes, all the musicals, 525,000, all that. It's money. It's all about the money. It's all about the MF and money. It's all it's about. And if you think otherwise, then you're delirious. You're deluded. Everything from faith. Faith, obviously, like the late great George Carlin said, he's all wise, all knowing, all present, just can't handle money. That's God. He needs money. No matter what. He has to get money. So, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Just can't handle a dollar. It's a shame. So you have these mega churches, and then you have these mini churches. They're all in the same gal, same guy. Excuse me, not gal. Same guys. Pause. That sounded weird, but they're in the same mind frame. Get the dollars. Get the dollars. Let's get this money. And then you have people say, not in it for the income, in it for the outcome. That sounds cute. That sounds hot. But you're going to need to gas up your jet, plane. You're going to need to gas up, go to your mansion, and then, all the name of Jesus, The richest say that. The wealthiest faith-based families and organizations that have millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, or tens of millions of dollars, they'll cram that down your throat. Oh, not in it for the income. I'm in it for the outcome. What is that supposed to mean? It doesn't even make any sense, because you got to make some kind of money. That's the whole point of this. It's the whole point of this society. It's the whole point of life and reason. It's blood. Money is blood. You can't do a damn thing without blood. Now there's the bone structure, there's the circular, not the circular, the cardiovascular system, the central nervous system, everything, all that is important and that's all good, but without blood, none of that makes any sense. You can't have a bloodless person. And you can't have a person with just no bones and just be a sack of human flesh. So blood and bones, that's what money is. Money and investments, I guess. I don't know. But that's the whole idea behind all this. Is to get the money, getting the money. Why was Diddy's bail denied? Money. Why is he not walking as a free man? Money. And they want to have him, drive up. I wonder what he said if he had $100 million or $150 million. But they'd be like, no, this looks kind of good. This pays for the court costs and the fees and things of that nature. I had to look that up. What the bail costs, what does it really mean? What what the bail actually pertains to. So we have to really dig into this. Pause. This is fun saying pause, 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 pause. But yeah, so these allegations, though, man, they just seem like it's very good story writing. It's like, oh yeah, well, I went into the room and Diddy was there. He was drunk, and he didn't have pants on. Then he reached out and grabbed my junk. I was like, whoa. I'm saying allegedly. I can't confirm nor deny the allegations that this claimant has made. Do I have to come on at a different time? Is 6 o'clock not good? It looked good for my it looked good for my other ones. I might just start a new one. I might do that. I might have to do 2 shows a day. See what happens on my phone during the day, and then come here at night or during the night and see what happens during the day. Y'all, whew, nobody's here. Where is everybody? Is there a game on right now or something? Am I missing something? Nobody give a goddamn about Skylar Saunders right now. So I would say it is very disheartening and very saddening that we have to witness this whole thing. And like I said, like the late great George Carlin said, he said, if you're born in this world, you have a free ticket to the freak show. And if you're born in America, you're in the front row. Well, I was born in America, but I was born in the capital of the first state on an Air Force base during an election year. That is ultimately like I have VIP reserved, seating for the freak show. And that's what's going on right now. This is a freak show. Not just talking about the freak offs. I'm talking about just the complete media circus. Everything that Did he pick up a pea and eat it from the ground? Oh my God, how could he do that? Did he wash his hands after he took it? After he used his lavatory? Oh my goodness, he didn't wash his hands. I can't believe it. Now I have 1 person and 1 like. This is at 48 minutes and 31 seconds. 1 person, 1 like. Will they be in the chat? Will they have the guts? Will they have the stamina? They have the spine to get into the chat room? I'll see. 1 person, 1 like. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's for the algorithm. So this is all going smoothly, I think, because I'm still here. So you have days like this. If people ask me, what would you do? What do you do for your broadcast? How do you get started? I'm like, just start, just do it, just go. You don't have time. You really don't have time. Time is ticking. You're going to be 80 years old one day, or 120 years old one day. So just start right now while you still have breath and still have enough vigor and vim and verve to do something. So I just say just start right now. That's the key to all this. Very important. Very important and very pretentious. Not pretentious, but Diddy. Man should be free. He's an innocent man. Free Diddy. My infinity ring. Free Diddy all day. All day free Diddy. He's an innocent man. He doesn't have a record. He has no record whatsoever. No criminal record. That's a fact. He allegedly hit Steve. I don't know if it's alleged. It could be just true, but it was said that he hit Steve Stout over the head with a champagne bottle. That he orchestrated the deaths of not only Tupac but also Biggie. That he had, just he was involved in people being killed in one of the concerts that he first was involved in. It's messy, child. So I got two people in here right now. 51 minutes. It took 51 minutes for two people to stay. Let's see if it goes down to one. It's probably gonna go down to one. And whoever is number two, make sure you hit the like button. Make it go two and two. Two people viewing, 2 likes. Let's see what that goes. See how that goes. I will definitely accept that. I'll be rejoicing if that happened. Hasn't happened yet. All right, so Diddy, he had everything, like just like New York City Mayor Eric Adams. He messed up. He's not going. Obviously can't go. It's not DC. DC is different. They move different down there. They're not even a state, but they act like it. No representation without no taxation without representation or something crazy. They don't care. They're in the shadow of the White House and the Pentagon and the not the Pentagon, but it's not that far away. But of the Capitol building, all these seats of power. Thank you for the second like. Thank you, appreciate it. And they're just doing the goddamn thing. They're just doing it. They're doing the thing. They're having a ball because they have the capacity to say, like, the late great. Well, I don't know if he's great, but the late Marion Barry, he said the bitch set me up. He said the bitch set me up, and he was doing crack rock. He was doing crack in a hotel room. It was on video. There's actual footage of this, and he ran for mayor and was elected again. He was already mayor doing crack with the prostitutes, alleged, and then the people of DC voted him as mayor again. Only in America, as Don King would say. Only in America. Only in America can that happen. And I would say, to an extent, OJ's issue, I'm trying to think of anywhere else in the world where that would have happened if that all would have transpired the way it did. I can't. I'm still trying to think of a country where a black man could be accused of stabbing or slaying 2 white people, including a very sexy white woman. I can't even fathom a place. I can't even think of a place other than the United States of America. And that's the reason why I think, black people were so happy, because of what the late great Paul Mooney said. He was like, even if he did, and this was the time period where the trial wasn't even over yet. He was saying, like, even if he did do the crimes, this would be like one of the first times in American history where a black man wasn't strung up by a tree that night or early that morning. Now I got 3. I might have to go to a 2-hour show because people want to pile on when it's going towards the end. I'll see what happens. If it goes up a little bit more. If it goes to 5 people at the end of this hour, then I'll stay on for another hour. But if it's just 3 or 2 or 1 or 0, I'm going out of here. I'm skating because that's the literal amount. Like when it goes up and down, when it stays there, that's it. That means that's it. There's 3 people viewing. Like, even though there could be 1 or 2 people that aren't viewing or are viewing, and it doesn't show. It's the algorithm. What are you gonna do? Probably ran by niggers. I don't know. Niggerrhythms. Niggerrhythms and blues. Oh, see, it went down to 1. See, I'm really about to be out of here. Less than 5 minutes. Shoot, I'm about to be out of here. So, winding down. Got 2 people in here, 2 likes, nobody in the live chat, nobody in the live chat the whole night. That's how I know that I can carry a show by myself. Just me and the camera. This is you and me. Whoever's out there, now it's down to 1. But I got 2 likes. It's just the camera and I, as to say it properly. That's extraordinary to me. That's extraordinary. The amount of lawsuits that have amounted and against Diddy, it would seem as though like he almost did it to himself. Like, it's just a weird situation. He allegedly did it to himself. Like, pause. But like, how could you have so many allegations and all of them just pour in at one time? And just how normal is this? Does this usually happen to people? Just your everyday Joe Blow. Does this happen to him? I want to know. Is it something that happens just to a select few, or does it happen to a lot of people? I just can't wait to Cinco de Mayo. Is that racist? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be racist, just to be racist, But Cinco de Mayo, that's going to be a day of reckoning. Or it could be pushed up. It's probably. I watched Law and Crime, and they have expert legal advisors and talent, and they say that could be easily pushed up or even pushed back. They can easily push up the date at an earlier time, or they can push it back even later. But we have to give props to Diddy's Avengers. His law team. They're looking like Steph and KD and Ant-Man and LeBron and Tatum. They're looking real strong. Now I got 2 people. It's not 5. It was 5. I'll stay on, but I'm doing a whole hour show all by myself. I'm gonna try to see if I can do a whole 2-hour show. 0 top, no nobody in the chat room, but I want a whole hour without anybody in the chat room. Let me pat myself on the back, dust myself off real quick. Just held a whole hour by myself. This is what Mr. Troystar Terrain is talking about. He was like that, wanted to be that Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh was just so steady. The late great Rush Limbaugh. He was just so steady on his own status. He had no guests into his radio show. He had callers, and I think he read people that send in emails or their faxes at that time period. But he was his own man. He was his own boss. I respect him on that level. Don't disagree with his politics or everything he said, but I do respect his business mind. He made millions off of this. White man made millions. Can't really cry for him. Can't shed a tear, but he did the damn thing. All right, so I am getting out of here. I appreciate you. Let me do my last drink. I rationed that out pretty well. And I will see you, I guess, at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna see what this is all experimental. This is all experiment. I'm just seeing what happens. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time. So thank you very much for watching. Take care.